Train your mind, evaluate your game, and dominate your life. Let me ask you something. When pressure hits, who do you become? If you want to perform under pressure, if you want to build confidence that lasts, if you want to separate yourself from average, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Mental Toughness by Coach P podcast, where athletes, coaches, leaders, and high performers come to train the one thing that controls everything, your mind. Each episode delivers real strategies you can apply immediately. Mental performance training, resilience and confidence, a growth mindset built on grit, and how to handle pressure and build championship habits. Hey, this isn't hype. This is training for your mind. Stop letting your past hold you back. Start building resilience today. Start becoming the version of you that performs when it matters most. For everything we offer, courses, books, mental performance training, visit our website, www.inspiringthem.com. That's inspiringthem.com. Remember now, train your mind, control your mindset, and go dominate your life. Here is this week's podcast. Well, good morning to you out there. This is Coach P, Jim Pusateri, your host and mentor. Today's topic of discussion, the cost of excellence. Yes, folks, the cost of excellence. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the result. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants people to see the finish line. But very few people ever sit down and ask the real question. Am I willing to pay for it? Because excellence is not free. It never has been, it never will be. And that is where the separation starts. You see, a lot of people love the idea of greatness. They love the image of success. They love the applause, the recognition, the title, the scholarship, the promotion, the platform, the opportunity. They love the conversation around excellence. They love to say they want more. They love to post about discipline, about standards, about growth, about becoming elite. But when it comes time to pay the price, everything changes. Everything changes because excellence is expensive. Not expensive in money, expensive in discipline, expensive in sacrifice, expensive in consistency, expensive in mindset, and expensive in what it demands from you when nobody is watching and when nobody is clapping. So today, folks, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're talking about the cost of excellence. Yes, the cost of excellence. What it really requires. Why most people never reach it. And why the people who do reach it are not always the most talented people in the room. But they are almost always the ones who are most willing to keep paying the price. Where do you stand? Hey, this is podcast episode number 1522. Are you ready to pay the price? Yes, folks, this is your next level conversation. And this is one of those messages that hits athletes, coaches, leaders, business people, parents, and anybody who says they want to become more than average. Because in the end, you do not get what you say you want. You get what you're willing to pay for. What's the cost really is of excellence? When I say the cost of excellence, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about what excellence asks from you every day. It asks for your time. It asks for your focus. It asks for your standards. It asks for your energy. It asks for your willingness to do what is necessary, even when it's inconvenient. For athletes, the cost of excellence is showing up early, staying late, doing the extra rep, running through the finish line, listening to the coaching, studying film, taking care of your body, controlling your emotions, and staying disciplined when distractions are everywhere. For adults in life and business, the cost of excellence is just as real. It is the discipline to prepare when nobody sees it. It is the ability to keep showing up when the results are not immediate. It is making the hard call instead of the easy one. It is having standards when shortcuts are available. It is staying focused when comfort is trying to pull you backward. This is the thing about excellence, folks. It's always cost more than average is willing to pay. Average wants convenience. Excellence requires commitment. Average wants quick results. Excellence requires patience. Average wants to feel good first. Excellence says, do the work first. And that is why so many people stay stuck in the middle. Not because they do not have the potential, but because they never accept what the process really cost. There is always a payment attached to becoming your best. The question is whether the cost exists. The question is not whether the cost exists. The question is whether you will keep paying it when the excitement wears off. Everybody loves the reward, but few love the process. This is one of the hardest truths to accept. Everybody loves the reward. Everybody loves game day. Everybody loves the win. Everybody loves the spotlight. Everybody loves the promotion. Everybody loves the outcome when it finally shows up. But the process, that's where people disappear. The process is quiet. The process is repetitive. The process is demanding. The process does not always give immediate feedback, and because of that, people start losing or looking for shortcuts. They want to skip steps. They want to get results without habits. They want to be notified without being disciplined. They want confidence without preparation. And they want excellence without the cost. But that is not how this works. Excuse me. There is no shortcut to becoming trustworthy under pressure. There is no shortcut to becoming a reliable performer. And there is no shortcut to building a championship mindset. Yes, you cannot talk your way into excellence. You have to train your way into it. And that means accepting that the boring parts matter. The hidden parts matter. The repeated parts matter. The days when you do not feel like it matter. The real work of excellence almost never looks glamorous. It looks like daily discipline. It looks like consistency. It looks like choosing standards over feelings. This is why so many people start strong and fade. They were in love with the reward, but they're not committed to the process. Folks, I'm going to take a short break right now so you can hear about two of our books out there on mental preparation and mental performance, and we'll be back in a moment. What separates those who succeed from those who fall short? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's mental toughness. In Mental Toughness by Coach P book, you'll discover how to build the mindset, discipline, and resilience needed to push through adversity and perform at your highest level, on the field, in the classroom, or in life. This isn't just a book, it's a blueprint on how to think, respond, and grow under pressure. And if you're ready to go even further, Coach P's 12-volume Mental Performance Series, volume number 1, is now out. It delivers 12 chapters, powerful lessons to help you break mental barriers and build winning habits that last. Take the next step in your journey. Get your copy of our books today over on Amazon. The links are in the show notes below. Transform your mindset and transform your life. Hey, Coach P here, Jim Pusateri, and we are back at Inspirational University, the home of the Mental Toughness by Coach P podcast and book. Locker room story, folks. Yes, I'm going to give you a locker room story. This is about the same talent, but different costs. I have seen this play out so many times in athletics. Two players, same age, same program, sometimes even the same amount of natural ability. One talks a great game, the other quietly pays the price. Yes, the other quietly pays the price. One wants to be seen as a leader. The other chooses to live like one. One wants the starting job. The other trains like he already understands what that job costs. One does enough to stay around. The other does extra because he knows enough is never enough if excellence is the standard. Then the season comes. Pressure comes. Adversity comes. Competition gets real. And suddenly, the gap shows up. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the accumulated result of what each one paid for day after day. I remember players who had all the physical tools, all the upside, all the athletic ability in the world, but they kept looking for ways around the process. They wanted the jersey, but not the discipline. They wanted the praise, but not the habits. They wanted the spotlight, but not the sacrifice. Then I remember other players who maybe were not the flashiest on day one, but they kept playing. They kept listening. They kept growing. They kept training. They kept showing up with the same attitude, the same focus, and the same hunger. And when the moment came, guess who was ready? Not always the one with the biggest mouth. Not always the one with the most hype. Usually the one who paid the cost. That is the one of the greatest lesson sports teaches us. You do not rise because you said you wanted to. You rise because your habits proved you were willing to pay for it. Folks, there's 4 prices of excellence. Let me break these down to you in a simple way. If you want excellence, there are at least 4 prices you are going to have to pay over and over and over again. The first price is discipline. Discipline means doing what is required, whether you feel like it or not. It means your standards do not change because your emotions changed. It means you do not need to be hyped up every day to do your job. It means you understand that feelings are real, but they do not get the final vote. The second price is sacrifice. You cannot have excellence and keep every comfort. Something always has to go. Maybe it is wasted time. Maybe it is a distraction. Maybe it's a bad habit. Maybe it is being around people who keep pulling you backward. Maybe it is your addiction to ease. Yes, excellence always asks, what are you willing to give in order to become who you say you want to be? Let me repeat that. What are you willing to give up in order to become who you say you want to be? The third price is consistency. Anybody can do the right thing once. Anybody can have a good day. Anybody can be locked in when they are excited. But can you do it again? Can you do it tomorrow? Can you do it when it is boring? Can you do it when progress feels slow? Can you do it when there is no applause attached to it? That is where real growth happens. Consistency turns effort into identity. And the fourth price is mental toughness, because all the discipline and the sacrifice in the world will eventually get tested by pressure, adversity, and doubt. And when that test comes, folks, your mind has to be strong enough to keep you moving. That is why I talk so much about mental performance. That is why our work centers on mindset. That is why the phrase matters so much. Mental toughness is the ability to move forward under pressure. Because if your mind collapses, your talent does not save you. Your potential does not save you. Your intentions do not save you. Mental toughness is what allows you to keep paying the price when life gets hard. This is why most people do not pay it. Now let us get honest here, folks. Why do most people stop short of excellence? It's not because excellence is impossible. It is because the cost keeps confronting their comfort. Some people want comfort more than they want growth. They say they want more, but they also want easy. They want a championship standard with average level discipline. They want elite results while protecting every excuse. That does not work. That does not work. Some people want instant results. They will work for a week, maybe 2, maybe even a month. But if the return does not show up fast enough, they lose patience. They stop trusting the process. They start questioning whether the work matters. But excellence is not microwave growth. It is built slowly. It is built layer by layer. It is built in ways that are often invisible before they are visible. Some people compare instead of commit. They spend too much time looking sideways. They watch somebody else's timeline. They measure themselves against everybody else. They get distracted by appearances. They get discouraged because somebody else looked farther than them. Comparison drains your energy. Commitment builds your future. And some people quit when it gets hard. This is the biggest separator of all, because it will get hard. Yes, it will get hard. You will hit fatigue. You will hit doubt. You will hit them setbacks. And you will hit moments where you wonder if the price is worth it. And in those moments, people reveal what they really value. The people who become excellent are not the people who never felt the weight. They are the people who keep carrying it. Let me say that again. The people who become excellent are not the people who never felt the weight. They are the people who keep carrying it. Yes, life and business, the cost shows up everywhere. This is not just related to athletics, folks. Life and business. This conversation, again, is not just for athletics. This is about life. You want to lead at a high level? There is a cost. You want to build a healthy family culture? There is a cost. You want to build something meaningful in business? There is a cost. You want to separate yourself from average in this profession? Well, then there is a cost. And that cost might look like preparation. It might look like saying no. It might look like having hard conversations. It might look like staying steady when others are emotional. It might look like being dependable when others are inconsistent. And it might look like making the disciplined decisions over the popular ones. The marketplace rewards value. Leadership rewards steadiness. Trust is built through consistency. And all of that comes back to the same truth. Excellence costs something. In life, in business, I have seen people sabotage themselves because they wanted the image of success, but not the demands of success. They wanted to be respected, but they were not dependable. They wanted influence, but they were not disciplined. They wanted growth, but they would not accept correction. They wanted opportunity, but they had not performed themselves to handle it. Or they had not prepared themselves to handle it. That is why average keeps showing up in different clothes. It is not always obvious. Sometimes average looks busy. Sometimes average sounds confident. Sometimes average is talented. But average still reveals itself in one place. It does not keep paying the cost. Excellence does. The cost of average, folks, it's a little higher. Here is the statement I want you to sit with. The cost of excellence is high, but the cost of average is higher. Average costs you potential. Average costs you missed opportunities. Average costs you growth. Average costs you trust. And average costs you the life you could have built if you had been willing to stay disciplined longer. You see, a lot of people think they are protecting themselves by choosing the easy path. What they are really doing is paying a different kind of price. Yes, the price of regret, the price of underachievement, the price of knowing deep down that they left something on the table. And that is a heavy price. Because one day, you're going to wake up and you're going to realize you were not denied excellence. You drifted away from it. Not because you did not want it, but because you stopped paying. That is why this conversation matters. I want people to understand that avoiding discomfort is not free. Avoiding discipline is not free. Avoiding standards is not free. There's always a cost. So you might as well choose the cost that builds something. Choose the cost that moves you forward. Choose the cost that strengthens you. Choose the cost that creates a better future. This is why, and this is exactly why, at our company, Inspirational University, we've built so much of our work around mental performance, discipline, and growth. Because people do not just need inspiration. They need training. They need structure. They need language for the battle they are in. They need tools that they can actually apply. That's the main reason why I wrote the Mental Toughness by Coach P book. That book is about building the mindset, discipline, and resilience to keep moving when life gets hard. That is also why we have the Mental Performance Series now. Volume 1 is out. Passion, Belief, and Achievement. It's designed to help people strengthen their internal foundation that supports long-term growth. It's exactly why we created our Success Bundle of courses. 3 great courses to help you find your passion in life. Yes, find your dream job so you never have to work a day in your life. Second course is goal setting, step-by-step process to help you achieve all of your dreams. And the third is mindset. Yes, learning that ability to move forward under pressure. Those courses are built to help people take action, get clarity, and train the mind to operate at a higher level. Folks, we also give you a free booklet, The Power of the Inner Game. You can get it by hitting that link in the show notes below. Because if your inner game is weak, pressure will expose it. But if your inner game is trained, pressure can become the place where your strength shows up. This podcast is challenging you. Do not just nod at it and move on. Take action. Build structure around your growth. Get resources that help you stay in the fight. You can find all of that stuff, all of our great resources, at inspiringthem.com. Inspiringthem.com. Let's reflect a little bit, and let's give you a little bit of a challenge. Let me slow this down and make it personal. Where in your life are you saying you want excellence, but you are resisting the cost? Where are you protecting comfort? Where are you hoping for results you have not truly prepared for? Where are you inconsistent? Where are you asking for more while still living by average level standards? That is not condemnation. That is clarity. Because you cannot change what you refuse to comfort or confront. And the people who grow are the people willing to tell themselves the truth. Yes, maybe your next level is going to require a new schedule. Maybe it's going to require letting go of excuses. Maybe it is going to require discipline with your time. And maybe it's going to require emotional control. Maybe it's going to require a tougher standard for how you prepare, how you communicate, or how you show up when things do not go your way. Whatever it is, be honest about it. Excellence begins to rise the moment excuses lose their voice. Huge sentence there. Excellence begins to rise the moment excuses lose their voice. And remember this, you do not need to become everything overnight. You just need to become serious about paying today's price today. That is how great things are built. One payment, one decision, one disciplined day at a time. Let me leave you with this thought. Excellence is not an accident. It is not random. It is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to the people willing to pay for it. Not once, not when it's convenient, not just when they are motivated, but every day. Every day. That is the cost. That is the standard. That is the separation. So if you say you want more, ask yourself a better question. Am I willing to pay for more? Am I willing to pay for more? Because at the end of the day, you do not get what you talk about. You do not get what you post about. You do not get what you finish. You get what you build. Yes, you get what you repeat. You get what you keep paying for. And that is why excellence belongs to the discipline. It belongs to the committed. It belongs to the mentally tough. It belongs to the people who keep moving forward under pressure. And that is the message. Hey, this is Coach P, Jim Pusateri, and let's keep building. Let's keep growing. Let's keep paying the price. And never forget, mental toughness is the ability to move forward under pressure. And excellence belongs to the ones who keep showing up and paying the cost. Have yourself a great day out there and move forward. You can have all the talent in the world, all the training, and all the experience. But if you can't handle pressure, adversity, and doubt, you'll never reach your true potential. That's where the inner game comes in. Mental performance is the hidden edge. It's what separates those who rise from those who fold. The mentally tough don't break under pressure. They grow through it. They push forward when others stop. And that's exactly why the Power of the Inner Game booklet was created. This free resource will help you strengthen your mindset, take control of your thinking, and unlock the performance level you're capable of. Get your free copy today because the battle is won in your mind. Hit that link in the show notes below for your free copy.